Theme Park Tycoon 2 just got a brand new update with new rides, new primitives, and much more. We're going to be checking them out today. I'm going to be showing you everything new in the brand new Theme Park Tycoon 2 update. And well, starting straight off right here, you can see this is the brand new Launched Freefall tower right here. As you can see, it has a really nice, just kind of predefined pattern right here, which I'd say is a lot nicer than the older Launched Freefall. And this also does look pretty damn nice. I mean, you can see up here as well. This all looks really nice. I mean, I don't think it's any surprise by now, though. The amount of detail that 𝗫𝗫 puts into an update and new rides like this is just insane. I mean, look at this, bro. There's even the ladder going all the way up the tower for, like, maintenance in real life. Like, that is just such a nice touch. I ain't gonna lie, though, 𝗫𝗫. I don't think you can get to that ladder. But anyway, all these engines and stuff also look really nice. Yeah, he's done an incredible job. I mean, just look at these restraints in these seats right here. These also look absolutely amazing. Although, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably not my #1 for, you know, redone intense rides, seeing as we already have the drop tower. But anyway, let's actually head over to our next ride right here, which is a G-Force ride. As you can see, it's a pretty simple ride. It's just like a massive pendulum sort of spinning thing. And then in the end, these trains also do a little bit of spinning, as you can see. Now, personally, I'm not sure why 𝗫𝗫 has added this ride, especially seeing as this is a very fairground ride. I mean, for a theme park game, not a fairground game, I'm not gonna lie, this seems like a really weird introduction, and it looks very fairground even too. But even if I don't think it is the best, you know, addition to Theme Park Tycoon 2, it still looks absolutely incredible. The amount of details, you know, is amazing. Even down on these fences right here, these fences look great. And what's also pretty good is that this is quite generic almost. The only kind of theming is this spinny thing here. But anyway, enough yapping. Let's jump on right here and let's check this out. Got a lovely view of that steel bar there. But yeah, this is definitely a very intense ride in real life. It is super, super intense. I've only ever been on one of them once, and they are very scary. Now, this is still a really cool ride. A bit of a weird, you know, addition. It's the same with the Launched Freefall. I don't know why we're getting these rides in particular, but you know what? Fair enough, I guess. Oh, yeah, and also before we actually move on to our next roller coaster right here, let's actually just look at these trains, because these look amazing. Again, just all of these details with, like, the padding on the seats, even these cogs behind the headrest, like, you know, that is just so much attention to detail. And yeah, as much as I'm not a fan of just this entire ride in general, I mean, it looks pretty good. Okay, and our next addition right here is a brand new skin for the Hypercoaster. Again, a little random, I'm not gonna lie. And it just seems to be adding random things, just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. But anyway, regardless of that, this train is still really, really nice, and you do find these trains a lot in real life. I'm not sure exactly what model. I believe these are on a B&M, but I'm not sure what model, so you guys will have to let me know down below in the comments. But regardless, they do still look really nice. The restraints obviously look really nice, although they are just very heavily based off of the, you know, normal Hypercoaster. You can see if I just build a Hypercoaster right here, just how similar these are. They're basically just reconfigured. Although this front train is actually different now, I'm looking at it, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I'm not really going to go over, like, the details of this and all that, because I've already shown you this on the Hypercoaster when it actually got, you know, added to the game. But very, very cool train right here. Nice skin, I guess. Well, let's actually add on to our next thing, which I'm very excited about. Okay, so part of this update is obviously that we've got a bunch of quality of life changes and just useful things that players have been asking for a while. Because the theme of this update is literally just random stuff. That is genuinely just the theme by the looks of it. And part of that is obviously these new materials right here. Now, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. These are not new materials right here. But if we actually go into the terrain tab right here and into block manipulation, or just the paint terrain tab, you can see that we now have all of these actual, I guess, terrain colors that we could use on primitives and all that sort of stuff. But they're actually in the terrain mode right here, so that we could just place these down as normal terrain. While we're in the terrain tab, there's also some new icons for stuff right here. You can see that now the remove/air looks completely different. And if we go into the water tab, this also looks different. I'm personally not completely sure. I think they look a little bit weird. But at the end of the day, they do kind of look better than the old ones, so is what it is. But the part that I am very excited about right here is these 8 new materials. You can, of course, use these on any primitive right here in any color. But as you can see, this first one that we've got right here is a roof tile, which I do really like. I mean, this looks amazing, honestly. This next one here is roof shingles, which I'll definitely be using in Clearside Valley. I mean, this looks great. But moving on, this next one right here, we've got some plaster. We've got this here, which is some carpet, which is very interesting because, of course, we have the fabric texture, but now we've actually got some proper carpet, which is nice, of course. Next up, we've got some tiles right here, which look pretty good. We've got some rubber, which is nice, if not just a little bit random, but will be great for adding texture to your build. I'll say that for definite. This next one that we've got here is leather. Again, a little bit random, but I guess nice. And then finally, we've got cardboard right here. Another very random one, but this is actually really cool. If you're building like anything just out of cardboard, any cardboard boxes, this is really, really nice. I just wish that there was a bit more of like a pattern onto it maybe, because this does just look very like plain. It's literally just some lines, which, yeah, I guess it does the job, but nothing too special. But of course, these 8 new textures are really nice, and it's really nice to see all of these just as terrain as well. But our next thing right here is probably the thing I'm most excited about, which is these brand new primitives right here. Look at these. We finally got new primitives. Thank God. A whole 26 more primitives, and they are very useful, some of these actually. Okay, starting off, we've got like a triangle, a pentagon, a hexagon, a septagonal. That's a new one. And of course, we've got our octagon right here, which, by the way, if it wasn't obvious already, these can just be rescaled in anyway, which is of course very, very nice. But then moving on to these corner pieces right here, as you can see, we've got a bunch of different thicknesses. In the menu, these are just called curved cuboids, but these are really, really nice. I love these so much. These are going to be so helpful, and I swear to God, I've been asking for something like this for years now, Dennis. Like, for example, if you want to make like a fountain, for example, before you have to do it with individual primitives, now you can just place 4 of these down, and there you go. You've got the outline of a fountain. Or for like the curve of a path like this, they just work so well. The one thing that I will say that I've just discovered while making this little bit of path right here is that if you do scale these up, they do get pretty thick pretty quickly. It would have been very nice to either see these just keep the same thickness as you actually expanded them up, because keep in mind, this is the finished version. But there is almost a bit of a solution to that right here, which is these brand new primitives right here. You can of course use these ones and then just sink them down to the ground, because these ones are the same things but kind of circular. And as you can see, we have even more versions of this. There's an absolute ton of versions of this, obviously, because it's not only the kind of radius of the circle, but also the fact that, you know, the different heights of it as well. But yeah, these are also really nice. I'm going to be using these an absolute ton. But anyway, that's all of the main features of this update, but there's one more thing which I'm a little bit confused about, but I'm guessing was actually one of the things that took the longest in this update, and that's the fact that now if you go into the advanced editor right here, we can of course just build like, you know, a bit of a hill here, a bit of a curve. We can actually just, you know, curve it around like this, whatever you want to do. And then now if I click build right here, you'll see it'll actually guess what I was trying to do and just continue doing it, which obviously looks a bit stupid once you carry on doing it like that, but you know, the fact that you could actually just continue one piece after like that is really nice. And you can even just reset to a straight piece of track as you had before, or then reset back to this right here so you can swap between them, which I've got to say, this is a pretty nice feature, especially for someone as dumb as me who just doesn't know how to build coasters at all. Although I'm a little bit dubious on how good this is going to be. Like, let me just try doing something complex like this. Yeah, and then it does that. I mean, I wanted to kind of go down this way, but it's gone like, nah, let's go this way with like a bit of an outer bank. It's a little bit goofy, but it is incredibly smart, I have to say. The only annoying thing is that as far as I can tell, you cannot toggle this, which I do have the feeling is going to annoy some people right here, but I guess it is what it is. But like, what is it doing now? Why is it? It's going like completely upside. What is it doing? I mean, sure, that looks great. But anyway, yeah, it would be nice to be able to toggle this either in just the advanced editor in the settings. But the other really cool thing right here is that if we now click remove, you'll see that it'll actually keep the shape of that previous track, which I'm sure a lot of coaster builders are going to be very, very excited about, because that allows you to just come into here and say you want to adjust this a little bit, you want to just, you know, change this banking, or you just want to nudge that over like that. Well, now you can without having to basically realign that. Very, very cool feature. Personally, I'm not really bothered because I don't build coasters, but I'm sure a lot of coaster builders are going to be like jumping for joy in happiness, like woo. And now we do have a bunch of other just quality of life changes that I'm going to go very quickly through. The first one is when I go into 𝗬𝗵s right here and actually try to build a 𝗬𝗵, you can see it looks like this. We can place that in it, and then the next one will actually adjust what is happening. The only problem with this is that, well, when I place this, it then builds the fence and the curve, which I'm not going to lie, feels a little bit stupid that this preview right here doesn't have the fence or the curve. But then when I put it over here, it affects the path. I mean, how's that work? But not here for some reason? I mean, I'm a little bit confused on that. I'm guessing it may be a little bit bugged right now. I'm just saying. One thing that is really good, though, is all of these icons have now been updated with the default curbs and the default actual fences right here, which is nice. Before, I think they pretty much just looked like the normal paths, but they just had the lines on them, which was a bit stupid. Also relating to 𝗬𝗵s right here, which a lot of you will be very happy about, is that you can now actually multi-select 𝗬𝗵s just like so, and we can actually copy these around just like normal, and especially you can now actually include them in blueprints. Thank God. And then we've also got some very, very strange updates with the monorail right here, and also the transport train, because apparently before you could kind of just go through the floor? Well, I'm just going to read this exactly to you because I'm a little bit confused too. Can now stand on the floor of the transport train and monorail and move with the train and monorail. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Could you not actually walk on these floor bits before? Maybe not. I don't know, honestly. I'm a little bit confused by that. But what I do understand is if I now do put this on testing right here, if I'm correct, it will actually push me. There we go. And that's not actually the only update with the monorail right here because you can see that only the doors on this side of the station are now open. That's because the actual doors of the monorail and the transport train will now only open on the side where the actual entrance and exit is, which does make sense. If I actually just delete this exit right here and place it onto the other side, I'm guessing that, yeah, both doors will open because, you know, people exit this way and they enter this way. And also, now that you actually have collisions right here, you can actually just stand up in the monorail and you can just go around like that before crashing and dying, of course. And the very final kind of important thing right here, I guess, is that when you actually select a bunch of primitives like this, you'll actually get half of the cash back, like you actually should, because before I'm guessing you just got nothing back or the wrong amount back. I don't know exactly. But I guess that's been fixed amongst a bunch of other things that are popping up on the screen. I've just put the change log up. There's a bunch of really small things that I'm just not really that bothered about talking about, but, you know, if you want to know, here, give it a read. But anyway, yeah, what are my thoughts on this update? It's definitely an interesting one. I'm not gonna lie, for the fact that it's been like 9 weeks since the last update, I feel like barely anything's been added. Although I'm guessing that actual roller coaster predictive thing took a lot of coding and math to work out. It is super impressive, even if it's a little bit weird in places. But for a non-roller coaster builder, we've basically gotten 2 flat rides that I'm really not that bothered about, a new ride skin for a ride that I'm not that bothered about, and the main thing that I'm actually bothered about is the new materials and the primitives, which, yeah, are cool and all, but not for a 9-week wait, really. I'm not that excited. But, well, guys, you'll have to let me know down below in the comments what you think of this update. And other than that, a massive, massive thank you to all the members who are popping up on the right side of the screen right now. I really do appreciate all your guys' support. Amazing people like these members on the screen right now allow me to do this full time and get these videos out so quickly. And of course, an extra big thank you to my top level members, which is 𝗬𝗵𝘁 𝗬𝗪 and 𝗥𝗀𝗻. Thank you so much, 𝗬𝗵. I really do appreciate it. And hey, if you have enjoyed this video, why not check this video out that's popping up on the screen right now? YouTube says you'll like it, so why not go give it a try? Well, I hope to see you there. Goodbye.